For years, you kept your accent in a box beneath the bed. The lock rusted shut by hours of elocution. How now, brown cow? The teacher's ruler across your legs. We heard it escape sometimes. A guttural on the phone to your sister. Saft or blot to a taxi driver, unpacking your bags from his boot. I loved its thick drawl, G's that rang. Clearing your house, the only thing I wanted was that box, jemmied open, to let years of lost words spill out. Bibble, fiddle, tie, wum. Vowels ferrous as nails, consonants you could lick the coal from. I wanted to swallow them all. The pits, railways, factories thunking and clanging the night shift. The red brick back to back you were born in. I wanted to forge your voice in my mouth. A blacksmith's furnace. Shout it from the roofs. Send your words like pigeons fluttering for home.
My father's in music, so he started Bhangra music in 1967. So he's in the Guinness Book of Records for starting Bhangra music. So you can imagine my house full of just instruments and costumes and rehearsal stuff. And you know, I was a very, how can I say, a rebellious child where I wanted to know exactly what was happening and why it was happening and what it sounded like. And that's probably what made me get into Bhangra music, simply because it was originated from the house. My father had a male band, and he always encouraged me to sit in the corner at the back and he goes, just play. I was like, all right. As the time went on and I grew up, I thought, you know what, I can do this myself. I don't need 11 men to sort a live band out. And then with the push of my father, I started my first drumming class in 1999. No other female door drummer was around at that time. We're talking 1999, 1997. We started to develop some sort of recognition over time. We started to get bigger events. So instead of small community events, cultural events, we started to get big festivals like Glastonbury. And then from Glastonbury, we went from Glastonbury went to Graham Norton Show. From the Graham Norton Show went to BBC, and then from the BBC went to Bollywood. And our stages just went bigger and crazier and massive. And you know, from two friends that performed at a local charity event 18 years ago, over time, because of the expansion of the group and people started to hear, whoa, eight drummers, wow, let's get them here, let's get them here. That popularity and that demand started to approach. And then I had to make more hours in the week to come up. So we did from 6 hours, we went to 9 hours because the classes were just getting big and our demand was getting big. And 18 years has been amazing.
The smallest change in tension or distance or the position at which you're playing a preparation will start to morph and change the sound over time. You're responding to the material, how it feels, how it sounds So you're looking and you're feeling and you're listening. I don't tend to have a visual narrative in my head. I'm approaching it in a way which is not using conventional techniques, and I wouldn't describe myself as a percussionist. So, and I like to just follow what the objects and preparations suggest. So if I hit against something accidentally or I knock something over, I let that happen and respond to it, as opposed to trying to kind of control and master that technique, as it were. I've always found that I, will kind of test objects to see what kind of sounds they make. And I'm quite a quiet person as well. And I think that definitely comes into what I'm doing, because it can often be really quite delicate and quite quiet. And I suppose in a way quite kind of inward, like it brings the focus in towards objects and towards sounds, but through listening to the environment there's this kind of back and forth between those things, which is something that I'm particularly interested in. In a way, I feel like through what I'm doing, I'm able to be more myself. And if I go through a period of time where I don't play for a while, I really feel like I just need to play now. I need to start doing again. So it's just something that I feel that I need to do.
Certainly the style of singing I did, I was never a trained singer or a trained musician, and really. It all came from feel and listening to records and watching performers. And I don't suppose you can learn the style I adopted. You can't learn that really. You've either got it or you haven't got it. Rock and roll, proper rock and roll singers, I don't know any of that training. They just sing. They don't think about it, they just sing, proper rock and roll singers. Our mishmash of volume and that worked as a band. That's what made our records unusual. It might not have been the cleanest and technically best records, but what our records had was, what a lot of records didn't have, was atmosphere. We had something that nobody else had. Nobody else was recording like that at the time. It was a lifestyle, it was a rock and roll lifestyle, and I loved it. When I was on the road and playing in a band, I absolutely loved it. It was the be all and end all to me, because that's what I wanted to do as a kid. I was standing in front of a mirror with a cricket bat, pretending to be a rock and roller, and singing along to Little Richard, Larry Williams, Fats Domino, Buddy Holly, the Everly Brothers are a big fan of, Elvis, of course, a lot of black R&B artists, Chuck Berry, great people, Eddie Cochran, Jerry Lee Lewis, great people who wrote songs and played guitar. And I'd just sing along in my little record player in the bedroom. I had one of them little downset record players in the bedroom. So I used to just stand in the front of the mirror singing along with this stuff. And to learn the songs, I'd have a little old beaten guitar that my dad got me from a scrap shop. Cost about £4, my first guitar, I think. And you had to learn. A guy taught me a few chords, a guy called Freddie Degville, who was a great guitar player. He had a combo that played Django Reinhardt music, Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli music, jazz music. And my mum knew him, and he showed me a few chords, and that's where I learned about Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli. He didn't even know him before that, but he taught me all about that sort of music as well. So I had a wide breadth of music. My dad sang Sinatra songs, he sang Ella Fitzgerald songs, he sang the crooner type songs of the day, so I was listening to his records, I was listening to my own records, I was listening to jazz records. I was picking a bit up here, there and everywhere. And quite frankly, I was able to sing in those genres as well. I mean, when I was going around the clubs with band, the breadth of material you had to have in those days, because sometimes you'd have to play 2 1.5-hour sets a night in the clubs in Britain. You've got to have a hell of a lot of material to fill 3 hours a night, and all different sorts of material. I was good at being able to sing in all the genres. I could croon, I could do a croon, I could do a swing jazz, and I could do pop, I could do rock, I could do blues. So I was lucky, but I'd learnt it by doing it for years. We weren't just a rock band, we did all sorts of stuff. You listen to our albums, there's all sorts of stuff on our albums. But people only think of the raucous, rowdy stuff. But my personal favourite is probably Far, Far Away, because it was between the two. It was neither a ballad nor a heavy rock song, it was between the two. And it was a a great sounding record. It just worked, and it works for me because I remember the time. It was a time when we were working we hadn't been home for a long time. We'd been out in the world doing this world tour, which was fabulous. That's why all the lyrics are in about all the places we'd seen on that tour. Amazing. We'd done all around the world. We'd been to Japan, we'd been to Canada, we'd been to America, we'd been to all over Europe, been to Australia. We'd been everywhere. But we hadn't been home for a long time. So there was something that we needed to refresh ourselves, which was to come back.
Now I don't know what I was doing there. I was being open-minded, but you didn't care. My whole life has led up to this, the moment in the sun, a secret kiss. My life has changed a million ways.
Phew! Like Mariah Carey, me, I don't do stairs.
I watched a video of a pirate boat, signing those strings with a stroke of love. You told me that you had experience. I like it how you don't take it serious. I don't think it'll be easy, 'cause that's how it